Jill, the Gibberd Garden, why is this place important to you?
The Gibberd Garden's really important to me, but I've known it for a very long time because one of our sons was in the Harlow Boys Choir, and that used to perform here in the garden many, many years ago, I think in the 1980s, and Andrew used to, as a little boy, sing on the back lawn. Lady Gibberd and Sir Fred used to open the garden for charity in those days, and I think it was possibly for the Red Cross, and the Harlow Boys Choir used to be part of the entertainment. So when I retired, I thought, do you know what, I'd love to go and work at the Gibberd Garden as a volunteer, and I thought I'd be pottering around doing a little bit of gentle deadheading and pricking out seedlings and that sort of thing. And when I came along, the first thing I had to do was fill up a trench with manure, loads and loads of wheelbarrows, lifting stuff, and then I got to drive the tractor. So I've been hooked, and I've been here ever since, and it's a marvellous place. The history is so interesting because of this Fred connection. The gardens are beautiful, it's peaceful, it's been described as a local gem, and that's what it is.
Sheriff, you agree with all that?
I agree with all of that. I came for a completely different reason. I came almost 20 years ago. Like the majority of Harlow, I'd never heard of it. I lived the other side of the town and had never come across it at all until a college friend of mine, when she unfortunately died, they had her wake here, and I came and I was talking to the lady who was doing the teas, and the following Wednesday I found myself opening the garden up and doing the teas as well for the public, and I've been here doing that ever since. And then when they closed in the September, the gardener talked me into coming to garden, so that's become part of my life as well.
So a day like today,
a big part.
Tuesday, is it a gardening day for you?
This is a Gardener's Volunteer Day, Tuesdays.
So when you turn up, are you given a list of jobs to do, or is
yes,
it? Yeah.
The head gardener tells us what he has got planned for us to do. Today it was shade, water, weeding, sun cream. But no, there's always something to do, and there's always somebody to chat to, and it's lovely.
Inga, can you recall when the first time you came down here?
I can indeed. It was in the early 1960s. My husband and I had moved to Harlow in 1961 because we wanted to work and live in Harlow because it was a beautiful town designed by Frederick Gibberd. It was important to us. At the time, the garden was very little known in Harlow. It was a private garden. He opened it a couple of times, 3-4 times a year, for a national charity. And it was on one of those occasions I came to the garden. And although he always said to everybody, my garden is a garden to be explored, he took us around the garden and showed us everything and hugely enjoyed himself. I fell in love with the garden, and later on in the 1990s, when the estate had become bankrupt and the house and garden and sculptures were for sale privately, a little group of people in Harlow got together and decided that that garden should be saved for Harlow. And we've been here ever since and worked for it ever since.
So, although we're celebrating 25 years, those days you're describing in the 90s, there must have been some dark days for this place.
It was incredible. We really had nothing but enthusiasm and energy. We had absolutely no money. It was a very dangerous time. But the trust was formed on the 25th of June 1995, and once it was formed we all got busy raising money, and it was touch and go for a long time, and nobody could have imagined we would still be here really 25 years later. It's a little bit of a miracle.
Do you find still though, when you come down here now in 2020, you still feel that magic is still there?
Oh, absolutely. It's a wonderful garden, and the people of Harlow deserve it.
Thank you. And finally, Rennie?
When I retired 13 years ago, I've known Cherith for a long time, and she said she worked here as a volunteer gardener, so she's responsible for me starting as a volunteer gardener. So I've been here for 13 years on a Tuesday. And then gradually I've been sucked into the other things as well, because Inga said to me one Tuesday, we need more house stewards. I can train you up. Would you be willing to come on one Sunday a month and do the talks in the house? So I'm now a house steward as well. And then coming on a Sunday and doing the house, I gradually got sort of lured into doing the shop once a month as well, and taught how to use the infernal Izettel machine. And because I'm one of the few people that can use the Izettel machine, I get roped in for that as well. So I'm here quite a lot now. Well, I was before lockdown, but hopefully again.
And you mentioned lockdown, but has this made you more determined, or everybody determined to keep this place going?
I mean, we've only been back, the volunteers, for 3 or 4 weeks now, because you know, when it was lockdown, it was lockdown. But yes, I mean, there's a crisis at the moment because, of course, there's been no income. So, yes, very determined.
But you're also determined that you know that there should be, you know, a 26th anniversary, and then you know we look for other people maybe for 50th anniversaries. It's important, isn't it?
Yeah, it is very important. And I think it's now been open twice in the last week. And the Sunday opening seemed to be quite populous, so it's looking hopeful.
Brilliant. Thank
People
you all.
are coming.
Brilliant. Thank you all. Thank you very much for your time.
Could I just add about
Yes.
volunteers?
Yes.
The volunteers have been coming from the beginning, and many of them, the ones that started, are dead now, but new ones keep on coming, and it is utterly amazing to think that this outfit has been run for 25 years by volunteers, apart from just 2 gardeners part-time.
Thank you very much for your time.